Welcome to the Writer's Room. Today we are talking about villains.
Beardy villains.
Yes, yes.
Beard twirling. Very nefarious.
When the mustaches do.
Yeah. Welcome back to the Writer's Room, guys. Today we are talking about our favorite movie villains. I am your host, Matt.
I'm Grisalia.
I'm Katie.
And I am Michael, and we're coming at you live from HollywoodRedux.com.
Yeah.
Live.
Anything could happen!
Censor that!
Yeah.
Censor that!
So let's just jump right into it, because we always run out of time and we're never able actually to talk about all of our things that we want to talk about.
Okay.
So, movie villains. Anybody want to jump us into the conversation of your favorite villains?
Talk a little Darth Vader.
Darth Vader.
Very
nice.
Right to the Star Wars.
Right
Okay.
to
Strong
Granddaddy
start.
Vader.
But is he the villain? Don't you think Emperor
Ooh.
Palpatine's the real villain in that story?
He was a puppet for him, at least, for a while.
And he turned good in the end, which makes him kind of not a villain.
But he did kind of kill all those kids, so
yeah, there are no children.
there is
died.
that. I
He killed a
mean,
lot of people. That's
By the way.
thing.
How about we
Jesus
put him in the
Christ.
baby pile? Oh, not too nice.
I think that makes you a villain. I think if you
Yeah.
kill a school
Yeah.
of children, you're a villain.
Does it though?
Flat out.
Yes.
Flat
Yes.
I like to live
Flat
in the day.
out.
I'm with you, Grisalia.
Yes.
That's a good story. For
Ugh.
villains.
Technical
Hashtag
difficulty, sorry.
Lightsaber control.
There are like a lot of good villains in the Star Wars universe. Another good
Great
one.
villains.
Another good one is, in addition to Emperor Palpatine, who's I think the ultimate puppet master of villainy. Villainy.
Mm.
Villainy.
Also, like Grand Moff Tarkin is one of my all-time
Yeah.
favorite villains. He's like so elegant and evil,
Yeah.
in the same way that like Palpatine is, but even like more like reptilian somehow.
Yeah, I mean, well, we could really probably do an entire episode on Star Wars
True.
villains.
True.
Let us know if we should.
Especially at the
That's a
extended
good idea.
universe and everything like that. So.
Yeah, Thrawn.
So comment below if you want that. and
Hashtag
we'll
Thrawn.
get to
Yeah.
more Star Wars.
Throlden.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I love, from kind of in the same family, LucasArts, Bollock from Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Sure.
He's one of my favorite villains of all
Alright.
time.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Especially because on the day, and they used it in the film, he was a great actor, so... He's a great actor, so... you know, when the fly lands on his face, when Indy's holding off with the RPG in the canyon, fly lands on his face, and that just went into his mouth. And he just ate it, didn't even blink.
Did the take.
Yeah.
That is a villain,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah,
That was very
absolutely.
Stone
well
Cold
done.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one and only Mr. Robert Patrick as T-1000.
Oh, that's a
2000,
good
that was
one.
pretty-
And you can even
good
say,
one.
like, Arnold as the original Terminator was an awesome villain,
True.
too.
Yeah,
He was a
that's-
very
I'll
scary
be
villain.
back.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with Robert Patrick.
Robert, oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. He didn't have to say
T-1000.
much to like be such a great
Yeah.
villain.
Have
Yeah.
you seen this boy?
John Connor.
Whoa!
It was terrifying.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Yeah,
I was
he
good
was
at
awesome.
that. Yeah.
I like Jaws, Bruce the Shark,
Bruce the
and
Shark.
Jaws from the Spy Who Loved Me, you know, with Mr. Roger Moore.
No.
Hey.
The TikTok crocodile from Peter Pan.
Peter
Wow.
Pan?
Just
Nice.
That's fantastic.
Alright, that's
Jill Hunter
interesting.
from
I love
Bambi?
it.
Oh, I was gonna say, I was gonna
Deep
say
cuts.
Cruella deville.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's, I
That's
think,
another
from
good
my
one.
childhood, one of the worst because she's so mean to puppies. Like,
Maleficent?
Oh, yes, Hades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well,
But that's like-
And he was the
that's
comedian
another
too, which
Disney
made him,
villains
like,
is a whole other.
such a lovable
Yeah, that's the same
character.
thing. We can go on Disney
Yeah.
villains
We
all
need
day
to
long.
comment below if you want that.
Jafar,
Jafar, dude.
Awesome.
you know.
Love you from Jafar.
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice has to be a really
Technically a villain, yeah. I love those villains that you love, like, more than, like, the heroes.
heroes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously.
Like, I feel like, and it didn't start this way, but it was like, you know, you still have, like, Freddy Krueger and Michael Myers,
Yeah.
Jason
Yeah.
Voorhees,
Oh,
all these
100%.
guys.
Michael Myers.
That, like, or even Norman Bates, you know?
Yeah.
Like, great villains
Never.
who you love more than the people they're killing, kind of,
Yeah.
you know?
I feel like those guys are more like just monsters, though.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, there's something to be said about a villain who is the duality of the hero, who's like the opposite of the hero, and
Yeah.
like shines a light on the hero in some way. Whereas those characters are kind of like just stalking their prey, like predators. Like, it's almost
True.
like in a genre of its own.
Predator, also a great villain.
Oh yeah, no, that is a good villain because he messes with the protagonist in a mental way. So that's
Yeah.
I
That's
love
really
that. That's
good.
cool.
I'm gonna
Yep.
say the Queen Alien from Aliens.
Similar, yeah.
You know?
That's
Yeah,
that
okay.
vein.
Get away from her, you bitch! Fuck you, light! Get away from her, you bitch! You know?
I love the passion. Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, in the Scorsese world, Bill the Butcher from Gangs of New
Yeah.
York is like a very menacing villain to me. With
David Day-Lewis.
he's so brutal.
Yeah.
He's just so.
And then he'll eat your milkshake.
Yeah, that's a pretty good villain too. Although there's something strange about him.
Yeah.
A little bit of.
I abandoned my child!
Yeah, you're like,
I
oh,
abandoned my child!
you're like, yeah, what are you gonna do about it?
Trantor from Ernest Scared Stupid.
Wow, that's
Transfer.
arcane.
That's
I like that.
Yeah, he was horrifying because I remember as a kid, like him throwing his voice, you know, making it sound like Ernest, and then it's him, and then I used to hate milk as a kid, so the fact that like you could use milk to like throw on the trolls to kill them, that was awesome.
Sure.
It's my favorite.
Hey man.
I always wanted to ride through a convenience store with a basket on the front of my bike after that movie, like just pouring in every bit of milk. Which why was there so much milk on just the shelves?
Jeez.
That town was poisoning its people. They were giving them some rancid milk.
Oh my gosh. From the Christopher Nolan universe, I think the villains are very tricky there, but I really like in Memento, Teddy, the character of Teddy, because he's not, I don't think he is, I mean, there's some question as to how villainous he actually is.
Yeah.
But, you know, in the end, in our hearts, because we saw that firsthand, we're like, he's a villain. We know he's bad.
Yeah, and I feel like, you know, almost like Bond villains, like Chris Nolan kind of introduces villains that way, you know, and it's like, for instance, like Ra's al Ghul, you know he's a bad guy.
That's a great villain.
Oh my god, I still think that's one of the best, even though there's no Lazarus Pit and all that bullshit, whatever. It's a cool movie. He's great. So I like Ra's al Ghul.
Different universe.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But so Batman villains, whoa, that's
a whole nother thing.
Oh,
I mean,
But all the
superhero
Batman villains, I
comic
think
books.
Ra's al Ghul probably tops the list.
Ra's al Ghul is
He's
pretty
probably my
great.
favorite.
Yeah.
Because he calls Batman detective and stuff. You know, it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm still waiting for that Lazarus Pit on the big screen.
We'll see
Just
it.
saying.
We'll see
just
it.
saying, Warner Bros.
We'll get there. We're in a different
Bring
universe
it.
now, I think. We'll get there.
Yeah.
So we'll see new villains.
Can I just do a blanket villain of the man? Because in like all those spy movies, all
true.
those like intelligence films and all that stuff, like espionage, like it's always the man.
It is always the
It's
bad
always Big
guys.
Gov. So I'm gonna say the man. For
Yeah.
blanket
Well,
villain.
that's like
in movies
how-
because it's so many great thrillers and you know like The Firm and I mean like
oh yeah,
just great
Firm.
stuff.
Yeah, that's like kind of like E.T., like those marauding scientists.
Yeah.
Those guys, you know. Like,
Hey!
Stranger Things, the government authorities.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just like
Stranger
Stranger
Things,
Things,
the
actually.
states.
CSM from X-Files.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh,
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Classic. Shameless plug time. Check out the K-Files with these two, and you'll hear plenty about CSI.
If you don't know what that is, then
If you don't know what that
Can't
is,
help
you're
you.
Watch
not
the
listening
episodes.
and watching enough episodes
Watch
of
the
K-Files.
episode and you'll know.
That's right. Cha-ching.
Another favorite would be like Sauron.
Oh, yeah!
I'm so glad I wasn't the one who brought up Lord of the Rings. Thanks, buddy.
Yep.
Oh,
But here we go.
Yay.
Prepare yourselves. I hope you're
It was-
comfortable.
It was happening.
Here comes a 20-minute discussion on Lord of the Rings.
Well, actually, I would even say that Sauron isn't even the worst villain in the Tolkien universe.
No.
So, you know, like, he was great in the Peter Jackson movies. I think that's probably the scariest possible conceived filmed version of that character. Like, he really took it to the next level with that crazy crown and, like, just the gaping maw and, like, how strong he was and scary. And so I think that was a pretty scary embodiment of that character.
Yeah.
But, you know, there are scarier Tolkien villains than Sauron. In the deep... The Balrog is a great villain.
Yeah.
He messes with Gandalf.
20-minute discussion.
Yep.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Oh, you let us hear.
If you want the Lord of the
Just say it,
Rings
guys.
discussion, please comment below.
Just say it.
Yeah, well.
We'll get Katie by
Hashtag
herself
Lord
for
of the
that
Redux.
one. Lord of the Redux. Comment below.
That's like a dance thing, right?
It can be.
It makes everyone pregnant.
You are now impregnated. It's
The mystery of the dead.
dance.
Simpsons did it. Hashtag Simpsons.
Simpsons did it. Yeah, that's 100%.
Yeah. So, really, I think you could also blanket aliens for the most part. I mean, you've got Independence Day, which, even though you don't really get to experience the aliens as much as you do in the sequel, in the first film, like, still a great villain, you know. I love, like, even classic villains, you know, like the townspeople with, like, the stakes and the, you know...
Oh,
Yeah.
Frankenstein?
Yeah, Frankenstein and everything like that. Or
Like
even
fear-based,
Phantom of the Opera, you know, same
Yeah,
thing, you know, like the
Speaking-
townspeople.
Speaking of small town, the witches from Hocus Pocus.
Oh, those are
Great
great
villains,
Witches
dude.
from Hocus Pocus.
The Sanders
Bette
sisters.
Midler. And
What
they
better
all
villains than those three ladies you got?
no, and
Jessica
they
Parker
do
and Meryl
multiple.
Streep.
Yeah, they do multiple musical numbers. No, not Meryl Streep was in it.
Oh, I'm thinking of Death Becomes Her.
It's not your
Oh
fault.
yeah, that's a good one
That's
too.
a great. Oh,
I
that's
love
great.
that. That's another good
They're
one.
all good ones.
Yeah.
They're all dicks to each other.
Yeah, it's great.
Kill each other.
Very realistic. I gotta tell you, I'm gonna keep it going with The Evil Dead.
Oh, fantastic! All of the Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Faceless villain.
Pretty much everything,
Villain
yeah.
takes the face of its.
And then it takes the face of Bruce Campbell many times.
Yeah. Another favorite, Zool from Ghostbusters.
Oh, the
Yeah,
classic.
but
The classic, of course.
I'm always a big fan of Vigo the Carpathian, though.
Oh,
In the
yeah.
sequel,
He's
the
Vigo!
Ghostbusters sequel. Yeah.
Carpathian!
Yeah. I recently read the story of the actor who played that guy, and it was like the saddest story. He kind of had like this like whole wrestling career that went south and stuff. It was a great read. I'll find it and post it somewhere.
Yeah,
Nice.
we'll post it to Twitter.
It was a strange story.
At Hollywood
But
Redux.
Vigo is the best villain because of, I think, informed by that guy's crazy life.
Well, he made
makes
it
such a
scarier.
great performance with that face. Like,
Yeah.
he's just so, like, menacing and, like, just, oof. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Scary.
Janusz, with the glowing eyes in the hallway and stuff. Like, when he was getting shocked, he was just screaming.
Yeah.
It was both parts funny and also horrifying. as a
Vince
kid.
Clortho.
Woo! Yes, Lord!
I've said this before on another podcast, but I'm going to say Jim Carrey is the Riddler.
Oh, yeah. Well, Batman.
fantastic.
Oh, yeah,
Sure.
back into the Batman world, yeah.
Sure.
I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
he's
a favorite of
amazing.
yours.
Yeah.
Favorite of yours, yeah.
Well,
way to go.
Jim Carrey also played a villain in a series of unfortunate events. He was
True.
like a pretty menacing villain in
Consider
that for
that
those
villain.
kids. He was so mean to those kids, including that adorable
I'm
baby.
sorry, I don't speak monkey.
Yeah, so mean.
Oh,
Little
man.
baby.
Yeah.
I have not seen that.
That's why
I
it's so
must see it.
funny.
Dracula.
Ah.
One of the
Moving
best
on to
villains.
villains.
Yeah,
Right
another
there.
monster.
No, he
Right back.
haunts somebody's dreams for sure.
Absolutely.
He haunted one's dreams once.
Yeah, absolutely. You can even say, if you want to, the raptors from Jurassic Park are
T-Rex
villains.
even. Oh,
T-Rex, but
T-Rex
T-Rex kind of
was
becomes a
kinda
hero.
Dinosaurs
Right.
made it to the list.
Very redeeming story arc for the T-Rex.
They belong to like the monster genre that is
Yeah.
they're still villainous, and they
Still
do
badass,
and they
though.
do mess with the characters mentally. They have
Yeah.
that like impact on them that they have to be smart characters to outsmart these really smart
Yeah. Or,
monsters.
oh, I can't believe I didn't even think of it. Jack Torrance from The Shining.
Sure. Oh,
Dude,
the Kubrick verse is
and I gotta
filled
tell
with
you,
gosh. Well,
HAL 9000.
How 9,000?
no, I mean the
What's
Droog
that?
from A Clockwork Orange is
Yep.
both the villain and the. I guess that he's the protagonist, and the villain is really the guys in the government who, fiddle with his moral compass.
Yeah.
That's the villain of that piece, which is interesting because the guy who's the protagonist does some terrible stuff that would ordinarily qualify him as a serious villain.
Yeah.
I have a question. Do the gentlemen
No
from
questions.
Reservoir Dogs count as villains?
I guess they're bad guys.
But not really villains, right?
I don't know.
Well, they're villains.
Michael
kinda,
Madsen's
They are-
definitely a villain.
They are in their own
Because I think
characterizations
they
villains,
are totally.
but in the story they perform as
Well,
heroes.
it humanizes them, makes them all relatable and actually people instead of like people you should fear, except for Michael Madsen.
It's the Tarantino model.
Yeah.
His
Michael Madsen.
most of his main characters do some villainous stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a question of hand gender.
Bang, bang.
It's really just a matter of time for all of us, isn't it? And on that note, that's
Oh my
going to
God.
do it for us this week. For the Writers' Room, I'm Matt. You can find me at Splashdown1 on all social medias, or by my name, which is all kind of right here.
I'm Griselli. You can find me at Griselli on all social medias, which is also right there.
Also-
I mean,
I'm Katie, and I'm at KMoles. Anything could happen between now and then. I don't know.
Who knows?
I can't know the future.
And I'm Michael, and you can find me at What the Hess, and again, it's right here.
Yeah, and of course, we're coming to you from HollywoodRedux.com, where you can check out all of our other shows, like the K-Files podcast with these two lovely ladies, or the IGL podcast. Check out some of our gameplays. Check out some of our holy shit sketches. They're all there for your enjoyment. And let us know in the comments if you like this post, and if you like our shorts and things like that. We'd love to take notes from our audience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrifying.
That is a horrifying thing.
Only if you liked it, just be nice.
Yeah. No, you can tell us if it sucks, too. If it
Yeah,
sucks,
no.
we won't keep doing it.
No,
So
we'll take.
we'll reach out,
learn.
guys.
Yeah.
Send us.
tell us what you want, and we're going to give it to you, because that's our... That sounds right.
We wanna
Tell us
give
what
it
you
to
want, and we're going to give it to you.
Oh, we're going to give it to
We're going to give it to you real good. So for the Writers' Room, thanks so much. Please subscribe below to our channel if you haven't already. Give this video a like if you liked it. Check out some of our previous episodes. Pretty cool. Don't feel too pressured. But if you don't, you're going to be left out because everybody else is doing it.